Southern Rosaria. Or Rosaria, or whatever the heck even.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
Alright, Bloodlines. Well, the costumes were there. There's only one other option for each person so far, and I'm not going to put them on right now. But we interrupt our regularly scheduled program to ramble about Skyward Sword HD controls, because I can tell you why the Skyward Sword HD controls were, like, just completely inferior to the original controls. Like, not even, like, gameplay-wise, but, like, in terms of what you're able to do. I'll wait for them to finish chatting here first. No, I like them, but, like, there's only one option for either or, and it's, like, so very different that it's, like, I'm not gonna put it on right now. But with Skyward Sword HD, in the original game, you would use motion controls to be able to slash your sword in different directions. It's the way that you're striking is the way that you swing in-game. And, how you would do a spin attack, though, is you would swing your Wiimote at the same time that you swing your nunchuck. Like, you didn't have to swing them both together. It's just, if there's, like, motion in the nunchuck, you do a spin attack, and that uses some of your stamina, whereas regular slashing does not. In Skyward Sword HD, what they did is they made it so that the right stick was, like, the different slashing directions. So you click up, and then you slash up, down, slash down, so on and so forth. But the really weird thing is what they did for spin attacks. You would think that, like, maybe there's some button that you hold to make it so that you can do a spin attack. Kind of like how in the original, you would shake the nunchuck at the same time and then you do a spin attack on command. Instead, they turned it into, like, Legend of Zelda fighting game because they put in command inputs. You want to do a spin attack to the right? You gotta go right, left, right. Want to do a spin attack to the left? It's left, right, left. And that doesn't sound too bad on paper, but that does result in a couple negative downsides. One, you can no longer do, like, one of the best DPS things from the original control scheme, which is just rapid slash back and forth, like that. You can no longer do that, because the moment you do that, you are going to start spamming spin attacks, and then you're going to run out of stamina, and then Link is going to just stand there uselessly going as he gets, like, wrecked because you just tried to do the thing that would have given you the best DPS in the original game, and you got punished for it. You can still play with Joy-Cons, that is true, but there should have been a good option for button controls, which there just wasn't. You can still get a similar amount of DPS by, instead of spamming left, right, like that, you instead just spam one direction like that. But it's a little more awkward than just going like that. And you also suffer the risk of the click back of the controller going to neutral might sometimes by accident just barely become an input to the other direction, and then you get a command input of the spin attack completely by accident without even meaning it. So it's not exactly a foolproof strategy, and it definitely doesn't feel as natural to go like right, when every single time that you return to neutral can be an input itself with like spam back and forth. So they should have absolutely had it be like a button that you hold makes it so that your slashes now become spin attacks, so that you can do them on command when you want, instead of when you want to actually do spin attacks, it's slower now because you have to input a command input of right, left, right, like 3 inputs quickly. You can no longer do it without doing a slash in the first place because, again, you have to do, like, right, left, right, for example, is you to the right. So you will have been doing other slashes first. You can't just throw out a spin attack, as far as I'm aware, unless there's some way to block Link from slashing with those initial inputs. Like, it's just an impossibility. You need to do other slashes before you spin. So it just takes away options, while also limiting your DPS and making it easy to miss input, consume your stamina, and waste it when you're just trying to get good DPS by spam attacking. So,
Quiet, you! Nothing we're loyalists.
So I don't know what the hell they were smoking at Nintendo when they decided to make command inputs, but that's what they did, and so like they could have just had the right stick for slashing, but then hold like one of the bumpers on the controller, and change it from slashes to spin attacks. Just like this game does, where it's like you hold the one bumper and then you have arts instead of your regular attacks. Like Final Fantasy 16 here is actually a really good example of doing that. Like in this game, you hold R2, ZR on a Nintendo controller, and then rather than having the normal buttons that I have assigned to square and triangle, those now become my arts that I can proc. Like imagine if in this game I had to do like command inputs if I want to do them, as opposed to just like, yeah, hold this and it changes the function of my buttons, that you can pop a lot easier and then get your combos a lot easier. That would really suck doing command inputs there. Also, as you redeem name a Pokemon, way too many channel points, so here's something, I guess. That's the whole name of the Pokemon, by the way. So here's something, I guess. Maybe I should just disable the name of Pokemon when I'm not currently doing a Pokemon playthrough. I wonder. Go back and see your reaction to the costumes, but notice the images of the costume don't actually show the special effects. Just a PNG, but the other alternate costume has a really cool special effect shown in the overworld, like Torgal's small sparks of lightning around him, I believe, on his other costume. Oh, that's interesting. I'll try it out at some point when I'm just going around side questing, I think, then.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, the Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits.
Well, I mean, there's 3 other bumpers. I don't remember which button is what, but I assume one is lock on the left. That's what it's gotta be. Where's the next person to talk to? So if one on the right is camera and one on the left is lock on, that still leaves open 2 potential other bumpers. But again, I don't remember what was assigned, but just like assign some sort of hold this and then it changes the function.
The Black Shields. Just now. You seen them, didn't you? At least I think they was the Black Shields. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harboring firebrands. Huh. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a Black Shield myself.
You don't think these?
But yeah, that combined with the
looking for could be us, do you?
increasing the number of pixels on screen without actually changing any of the textures, thereby making little graphical errors that would have been masked by the 480p native graphics of the original, now be like right blaringly in your face, like the fact that the textures on the outsides of paths just don't match up with the textures just outside the path. I would argue makes the game look worse than the original game. So I typically say that my favorite Zelda game is Skyward Sword and my least favorite Zelda game is Skyward Sword HD. Because what a waste of money that I would argue is worse than the original. But yeah, I probably explained before, what do you think of the Skyward Sword HD motion controls? I only played with them a little bit to just try it out and see if it worked like the original. And if I recall, I believe it felt just fine. But there's probably very few people that'll be playing with the motion controls nowadays. But it's basically just like the original. I don't remember if I had issues with it or not. But my memory is telling me that I thought it was fine.
And we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger.
Well, suck it up, dude.
The Empire's a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission, But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another East Pool.
Then we shall be on our way.
We're out of here.
These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
Alright, so I guess we're continuing on here. I played in HD, but didn't play it long before they stole your Switch? What, your Switch was stolen? What the heck? I'll be going for a decent while. Like, I plan on going long enough that that dragon is able to get through most of his progress before I,
And directly into the path of whoever.
like, the dragon will finish before I go to sleep. Doesn't really matter if I'm still streaming at that point necessarily, but I'll go for a decent while. It's not gonna be another 9+ hour stream. Like, I started a lot earlier in the day. All in Hunter yesterday than I have today. Like, it's already pretty late in the day. It's already 9:04 p.m. So, like, not gonna be going, like, super insanely long or anything here. Like a little while at least here is the plan. And yeah, that's fair. They're pulling the stuff out with the having to point the Wii remote in the different directions for the for those modes. A little bit wonky. Okay. A slash. One more slash. I don't know. I'll get to wherever I get to, I figure. We shall see. Make for Port Isolde. Well, what if I don't want to? Are these guys mean? Sure, look like they are.
More of my mother's men.
Yeah, you look like you are. Well, whoops. I tried to do my thing that I normally do, but, like, never mind. I'm doing this then, I guess, instead. So then this guy. Okay. And then... yeah, and then I can, like, pull them back in. Is, like, a thing that I've been meaning to try here. Whoops. Didn't mean to lunge. I wanted to do that. I also turned off the controller sound effects. Like, I've been thinking about for a little while. So that isn't going on anymore. I did that earlier today when I was doing that time skip mission, again, off camera. And I was playing with it muted. And I was watching One Piece on the side of my monitor. Because, like, whenever I'm doing something here that doesn't require, like, audio paying attention, like, I'm slowly catching up in that anime there. So I was watching One Piece on the side of going through the time skip quest again. And the game was muted then because of that. But my controller was still making sounds and it was throwing me off a little bit, so I finally turned off the controller sound effects earlier today. Whole backpack got stolen. Worst of all were IDs. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that is not exactly something fun to deal with there. Let's see here. Yeah, usually when I end streams, it's just like whenever is like convenient for me to do so, slash I'm tired, slash I ran out of time. Remind you that daylight savings time is soon upon us. Oh, it is now? Dread changing your clocks and then having to change them back in a few months. Oh yeah, during a lot of 24-hour cherry streams in November, I would usually turn into 25-hour cherry streams just because of the time change. I should look up what exact day that is. Because the Extra Life event, the official runtime of the event itself is November 2nd at 11 a.m. till November 3rd at 12 p.m., so 25 hours. But is there daylight savings to account for? Would that actually be 26 hours of curiosity? What is daylight savings time? Let's see here. Sunday, November 3rd, Mountain Time. So, is there... on the first Sunday in November. Okay. So daylight savings time in Canada starts on the second Sunday in March and ends on the first Sunday in November. That would be with daylight savings time. do your charity stream that day, to be honest. You say it's 24 hours, that lasts 25 hours. Well, it is on that day because, like, that's the day that I need to be, like, at the venue. Like, it's not happening here. It's happening at West Edmonton Mall as part of, like, the physical Extra Life event, which I was present at last year, just there, like, streaming and helping set up, like, the physical venue at the beginning. But this time I'm actually hosting, like, one of the official events that's going on there. Between 7 and 8 p.m. on November 2nd, I'm going to be running Smash Ultimate Free Play on the stage. That's why I've been 3D printing some dragons, because I'm doing this thingamabob in person there for a little while. And I figure, like, hey, if anyone donates to my page there in person, that's there, like, playing my little event thing of Smash Free Play, then, like, they can take a dragon home. In that case, like, maybe just set, like, a price point for them, something like 20 bucks or something. Just like, oh, yeah, you donated that? Here, take a dragon home. That's why I've been 3D printing a bunch of those lately. Is to give to people in person. So, yeah, I have to do it that day because that's Extra Life's game day that I'm there helping set up the venue. And I'm scheduled to run an event on the stage. So, like, yeah, I can't exactly do it on a different day. So, yeah, if it's running from, like, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. the following day, and I'm just gonna start whenever I can start. Like, the scheduled start time of the Extra Life event isn't necessarily when I'm gonna start streaming. I'm gonna start streaming when we're set up and I'm ready to start streaming. Considering I'm getting there at 6 a.m. Like, when did I start last year? I wonder. Because I got there at about 6:10 a.m. last year to help set up. And I'm pretty sure I started streaming before I was, like, completely set up, and then I was just on, like, my stream beginning screen. I had, like, a venue cam, stuff like that. So I don't know, like, how long it'll take to set up. But, like, I have no doubt that I'll be starting before the event itself actually starts. And to be more specific here, if I switch my input over, daylight savings is the horse shit as well. It is, yeah, it is a bit inconvenient and crazy. But, yeah, if it's running 11 a.m. one day to 12 p.m. the following day, that's actually 26 hours. And if I'm potentially starting before 11 a.m., this might be the longest single stream I'll have ever done on this channel. I'm starting to realize. Well, the longest one I ever did so far was a 24-hour charity stream 10. Because I just wanted to do, like, my full playthrough of Pokemon X and Y, start to finish. Like, however long it took. I wasn't sure how long that was going to take, and it took 26.5 hours. I'm fairly certain. Hold on, let's see here. If I pull up the thingamabobs here, let's have a little bit of a look-see here really quickly. So if I go to display capture, currently the longest stream that I did was the last 24-hour cherry stream. So yeah, how long was this? Let's see here. That was, yeah, about, oh, it was 25.5 hours, not 26.5 hours. Yeah, so the longest one I'd done before this point was 25 hours, because I'd done some 25-hour streams. I just received a donation from Weh, apparently, for the upcoming 24-hour cherry stream here. I sure wonder who that might potentially be, but I appreciate the $20 donation there, Weh. So now we are at, whoops, that's the wrong button there. So now we are at 77 out of 500 of the goal currently. That's on this layout here. So once it goes to say most recent donor, like it'll switch to that in a second, right? Probably. It's still just showing top donor right now. Most recent donation. Wah! $20. Well, greatly appreciate that. That was like a Sableye if you ask me. It probably is, isn't it? But anyway, I've done some 25-hour streams before just because of daylight savings time screwing me over. Because, like, it's always on, like, Extra Life game day. This one was 25.5 hours just because that's how long it took me to do main game plus the post game that I wanted to showcase all in one sitting of this game. So it just took me however long it was going to take me. So that's, like, my longest stream that I've done yet. But if this one... Oops, I need to be clicked onto this here. Yeah, if there's this, where that alone is 26 hours, and I'm just gonna be, and I'm probably gonna be starting sooner than that. Yeah, like even just the raw 26 hours will be like my new record. Lots of repeat customers. But it's interesting, the way that they're handling like most of the people that are streaming for like coming in and fundraising at the event. I can, it's easier to visualize if I show on the map here, is the actual gaming area for the event, these rows, they're bringing people in like different waves. So it's like the people in this row are expected to arrive and start setting up between 8:30 and 9 a.m. Then this group between like 9 and 9:30, and then like 9:30 and 10 a.m. Because then we're not like getting a bazillion people in through like the very narrow entrance of the ice rink all at once, so it staggers them out. And then I don't know what this is, like maybe this is just like overflow or something. I'll probably find out at the event. I'm gonna be here because that's where I was last year. This will be like the Fragapalooza area unless they've changed it on the floor plan. So I'll be somewhere over here, and I'll be there like way before this point helping set up. So it is possible that I might just start streaming like as people are still coming in and setting up. I think that's what happened last year, if I recall. So we shall see here. And then there's like the public area over there where there's all sorts of exhibitors and stuff. So I'm probably gonna be going for a while. Like if I try to go until the actual endpoint, like I don't know what hour I went until last year. I don't recall. I could probably find on like the images on my phone when I was packing up. I think it was around like 11 a.m. that I was pretty done. Like, let's see here. If I look on my phone and I sort by months and I go to November and then I find the venue last year. So the following morning, the last photo that I took was November 5th, 2023 at 10:48 a.m. And I took a picture of like my setup and stuff. Was I done streaming at that point? Apparently I just received a donation by Nobody Expects a Spanish Inquisition. No, it just pulled up the Wehehe one. Nope. It's underneath that. Nobody Expects a Spanish Inquisition, the SP. Well, I'm not being attacked, am I, in game? Just made a $50 USD donation. You know what now? It just says the Spanish ink there right now, which is now the top donor, apparently, before our event has started here. My goodness gracious. Well, already a decent bit of progress on the bar before the event has started here. It sure seems like. My good gracious. Anyway, I forgot about daylight savings time is the point. I greatly appreciate the $50 donation. Nobody Expects a Spanish Inquisition, whoever that might be. I mean, yeah, that is true. Never expected them to donate. How long did I go during the last one at Extra Life? Like, did I end before the before other people there, like before things properly wrapped up? Like, I don't have like my full runtime listed. I think I have like a full VOD link though. How long did I go here? No, not Metal Gear full VODs. Yeah, the 24-hour Cherry Stream 9 full VOD. How long was last year's one? 25.5 hours technically. I still count the 24-hour Cherry Stream 10 as my longest one. Definitely not Guzma right there. With the last year thingamabob. But I think the first hour of this was still setting up. Yeah, I only started like half an hour in, so it was more like a 25-hour stream. That's what it was more like. But you can see people like coming into the rows there and getting set up here, since I was still like sorting some things out at this point. And then I got started with Metal Gear Solid 2, but I was having some internet issues in the beginning because like things weren't fully set up yet. But I don't remember daylight savings last year. Like, I guess if it... What date was this on? Like, it was always the first weekend of the month. So, like, there would have, in theory, been daylight savings time then, too. Like, there would always be during the Extra Life weekend in that case. Yeah, it says right here, plus daylight savings time, so 25 hours total runtime. Okay, I went 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. So I did start before 11 a.m. last year. If it was scheduled to start 11 a.m. last year. I don't remember what time it was scheduled to start. And were people still around there at the end? Like, was it still ongoing? Could I have gone longer? No, people were packing up, it looks like. I think I was one of the first people streaming, if not the very first person streaming in the venue. I'm pretty sure I was one of the last. It sure looks like. Okay, so I was showing the venue there. There's definitely still some people streaming. Definitely still some people gaming. Huh. Yeah, so it looks like it was, like, right at the very end. So maybe it was just scheduled to go until about 10 a.m. last year? I mean, it depends on what this 12 p.m. means. Does it mean that, like, we start packing up at 12 p.m.? Or we're expected to be, like, fully packed up by 12 p.m.? Like, I guess I'll find out at the actual venue. Yeah, leave checkout. I'm not getting one of these. I'm at the frag table. I'm covered here. So I don't actually know how this is going to work exactly. So yeah, I don't know how long my stream is going to be next weekend. But it's looking like it's probably gonna be really long. The current plan is to play, like, pinball games. Oh, well, since that's the theme of that stream, where I have 11 pinball games of Nintendo's that I'm going to be going through. And if I manage to get through all of those, then I have 2, like, extra pinball games that I can play on top of that. And one of them will just be, like, a short showcase thingamabob. But the other one, which is one of the games I found out existed on the GameCube, interestingly enough, when I went down the rabbit hole of, like, all pinball games on Nintendo consoles. It's a very weird game. I'm going to leave it a surprise what it is. Like, all the pinball games, I'm not announcing them ahead of time. It's just all the Nintendo developed / Nintendo IP pinball games for, like, the 11 that I'm going through. There was exactly 11, which it's like a crazy coincidence that I'll get through. And some might be a surprise, like, whoa, Nintendo really made a pinball game like that? Really? That's crazy. So that should be fun. And the final one is Nintendo, like, if I do manage to get through those 11, which I'm sure I will, then with the extra time, I'll play one that people that played games on Windows 95 will probably recognize. And the second one, if I still have extra time to tack on at the end, like if I'm still going and I've gotten through all that stuff, then I'll play this one GameCube Nintendo published pinball game that is an extremely different pinball game, let's say. I'm flabbergasted that it exists, but according to how long to beat, it actually is, like, a decent, like, full-length game that would take a while to beat, to the point that if I did start at the venue, I don't think I'd beat it there, no matter how long it goes on. So, like, I'm not gonna run out of things to play, is the point there, in terms of pinball things. Like, I should be able to go with pinball games all the way through to the end with the games I have in mind here. So, Kirby's Pinball on GameCube with a Rumble Pack? So much weirder than that. And now that I don't really know how long the stream is going to be, just whenever I'm set up and good to go on Saturday, up until, I'm gonna try to go on Sunday up until, like, things are pretty much done. Be like last year, be like one of the last people there. So, yeah. I have a feeling that my body is gonna be, like, very unhappy with, like, the sleep situation by next weekend. So, yeah. Is it gonna be the first 26-hour stream? Am I gonna break a new record for, like, stream time for myself? Like, what's gonna happen?
Blood, Clive.
I was already kind of worried, but now this note about daylight savings time, I'm kind of extra worried now. I'm a little bit afeared here. Like, my 24-hour streams at home are super easy, where it's like, yeah, I just play however long. I'm either scheduled to play, which is either 24 hours. The last one was just however long it took me. So it took a little bit longer. So that was a little bit unexpected. But this one, it's just however long the event is ongoing from my start point, which could be variable. So I straight up don't know how long the next 24-hour cherry stream is gonna be.
On these, our swords we swear.
Say that again.
So, I think I've done at least 2 25+ hour streams. Maybe 3? I don't know how many I've done with, like, the daylight savings to account for as well. So you can just keep on doing that. That's interesting there. Well. But maybe I'll do, like, my very first 26-hour one. So of the 10 I've done so far, I think it's 8 24-hour cherry streams. 2 25-hour cherry streams, at least, if not more. Maybe we're gonna do our first 26-hour one? Or something like that? Maybe? I don't know. And I'm gonna be awake so much longer than that. Like, 26 hours I'd be able to realistically do, but with a little bit of pain, like here in my office, where it's like I'm only awake for like 1 hour before the stream starts. But an extra life where I'm awake for quite a decent while before I start streaming, considering I'm helping to set up the venue. It's like, yeah, that's gonna be brutal. I remember last year I was awake for 30 hours by the end of the event after helping with the setup in the beginning. So, and that's like my personal record for like how long I've ever stayed awake. So, but I'm thinking that this next one is probably gonna be both new record in terms of street time and new record in terms of my staying awake time. It's looking like. But yeah, I guess I just gotta up the stakes every time. Last one was the first 25.5-hour one. Then this next one's gonna be the first 26-hour one, maybe. Who knows? I'm a little bit afeared, honestly. Man. But yeah, let's just see here. And what have I missed here? You call it pinball. Always snag yourself an emergency pack, basically the healthiest energy boost you'll ever get. It might not be a bad idea to get like some sort of energy boosting thing. Because yeah, I'm gonna be feeling it here. Let's discharge sure for fun there. Yeah, I remember you mentioned that, but like it could potentially be a good idea. Could at home still give 24-hour streams something unique, like cosplaying, or when we ban in words? Yeah, and I was thinking about doing something like that for the for this next one, but I feel like that might not be the most fair game in like the big public venue there. Plus, like I guess it still would be fine enough, but like, what would I do for the? It's more in terms of punishment that I'm not quite sure what I do, because I'm changing platform each time with each game, so I can't exactly increase the speed. I don't want to do the gross jelly beans again because I nearly made myself sick. So I feel like I'm actually gonna die if I try to do that there. And if it was something like genuinely embarrassing, like just stand up and do a dance or something like that in the middle of like the biggest mall in the country, I don't know if I could do that with my social anxiety. One fun thing that I did come up with that I thought could be a fun kind of reward is, in addition to me doing like the endless pinball games, my little cousin, who's gonna be coming with me this time, he's gonna be doing his own challenge run. He's starting a new file of Elden Ring, and he's gonna try to defeat all Remembrance bosses in the main game and DLC before the event is over. And because basically all my games are not like 16:9 games I'm doing, they're all like smaller aspect ratio games, I designed my layouts to have like a small 16:9 box so that his PC can run through my capture card, and then you can see like his challenge run too. But because of that, let's see here. If I pull up my page, what is playing? What did I just start playing? Where is the audio coming from? Oh, it's my page. It's my fundraising page that was playing in a Twitch ad, is what it was. I don't know what the heck that was. Hold on, let's see here. I was trying to come up with like some fun rewards around that, and I tried to figure out how I could get like modded Elden Ring to work to like spawn enemies into his game, but I couldn't quite figure that out in time. But one idea that I thought was funny, because we're doing like a like two challenge things right next to each other, me doing endless pinball and him playing Elden Ring, is I thought like, what if we just switch? And so I sent him a DM like a few days ago, like, hey, if I put this as like a reward that people could redeem, are you cool with that? And he was like, sure. He was like, okay, cool. So I put this here, where it's like, you can redeem to make us switch games. So I could probably just like scooch our chairs around. He comes to my setup and he starts playing pinball, and then I go to his computer and I start playing Elden Ring, and you get to see me playing Elden Ring like on the layout still. I thought might be a funny thing. I did think about I did initially have the oven mitts thing on here like I usually do, but when I'm playing like with pinball flippers, and it's usually just the bumpers, it's not like oven mitts would impair me all that much anyway. So I don't know, I can't really think of other potential things here. So these are the things that I have, right? Oh, and this used to be the $20 thing, so I guess I need to like rephrase this. I'll fix that at some point later. Yep, Metroid Prime Pinball is going to be one of the video games going on. So yeah, that's this. That's one fun thing going on. I might order a Waluigi hat, considering like Waluigi pinball and stuff like that might be kind of fitting. But I don't think I'd go in like full cosplay. I don't think here. Sure, do that. Also, thinking about doing streams in like full cosplay. I wonder what I should do for the Halloween thingamabob in a few days' time. Because Thursday's just 4 days away. Halloween is coming right up here. Like, I haven't thought that much about Halloween because I've been like so preoccupied in my mind with the with this next event. Halloween is coming up here. That's not one that I'm doing because that's a that don't be a Nintendo one. I guess I technically could, but like, I'm trying to do all the Nintendo developed / Nintendo IP using pinball games. This is what I'm trying to do in terms of the 11. Oh, there's someone that's healing, isn't there? Hold on. Stop targeting. Is it you? Is it the shield? Probably? I don't know. I don't know if I could get like a full Waluigi cosplay though, and especially not in time. Plus also at that event, I would want to be like showing my Fragapalooza shirt since I'm like probably gonna be well, me and my little cousin together, probably gonna be like the 2 Fragapalooza people that are there like throughout the entire event. Most of the frag people are there to like help with setup and help with teardown. Is what it mostly is. Like last year, I think I was the only frag person that was there throughout the entire event. The one person that was there throughout the night. So since I'll be there at like the frag table, I do want to have like my frag shirt. And people know like, oh, if I want to ask someone about Fragapalooza, like this is the person to go to. Because like that's probably going to be like the role that I'll find myself in. It's like kind of the Fragapalooza representative that's always there. So I do want to wear my frag shirt. So even if I could get like a full Waluigi cosplay, I don't think I'd want to for the sake of the in-person event. Yep, Mario Pinball Land is one of them. Second last one since I'm going through them in release order. So Metroid Prime Pinball follows that.
Who are you looking for?
But yeah, okay, don't enjoy the lurk there, Guzma.
Why, you.
I like how you earlier said that you didn't like that emote and it didn't resonate with you at all, but after I said it was a lurk emote, now you're using it to lurk.
Your friends have been
So that's my personal favorite emote, the Zora one, because it's one I drew myself, and one that I'm actually proud of the drawing in.
They await you in Ordil. Guardians of the Flame.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, there's 3 Pokemon pinball games, so I plan on playing all 3. Do be the case. So, for pinball games that have, like, a clear objective win condition kind of thing, like Metroid Prime Pinball or Pokemon Pinball Land, I'll just play them until they're beaten. For things that don't have, like, a clear win condition, like NES Pinball or the Pokemon Pinballs, my plan is to either play them for half an hour minimum, just to get, like, a good showcase of them, and then move on to the next game. Like, unless I feel like playing it longer, then I will, but, like, at least half an hour minimum is the plan. Or with, like, the Pokemon Pinball games. Like, I'll probably do that with the first Pokemon Pinball game, but for Ruby and Sapphire, probably just come up with, like, a custom condition to say that I beat it, like catching Rayquaza or something like that. Yeah, at least catch a few Mons. I looked up how long it takes to catch Mewtwo and Mew in the first Pokemon Pinball, and I was like, oh yeah, this is way too long. Not doing that. But catch Rayquaza sounds feasible for, like, a quote-unquote final boss, you could say. Final boss and not final boss of Pokemon Pinball. So it's like, that could be my condition in Ruby and Sapphire, and then I count it beaten.
Find something, boy.
So, that's been what I've been having a big think about lately.
Found her.
Looks like something you'd see in Dark Souls 3. Sorry to ruin the mood.
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone...
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
Yeah, she seems pretty insane. A Bloodborne reference, that's right. I never got far enough in Witcher 3 myself, but sounds like something you'd see in that game. But yeah, so that's what's going on in terms of next weekend, so I'm excited, but I'm also, like, afraid at the same time. Like, my body's not gonna like it. I gotta remember I have a
I
Chocobo
doubt
now.
the Empire would let us cross over to Rosabeth.
Immediately changes the music to this. Oh yeah, I have to do this. I was like, why am I not running? Here we go. This'll speed things up a little bit, won't it? Definitely make us go faster. Oh, we're gonna fight here, aren't we? But yeah. Well, Eldritch horrors will appear after that scene. Good question. Oh, I thought these were like soldiers.
I did, Mummy. I could
Nope.
hear him shouting from down the
They
road.
tell us there's a curfew, but they refuse.
Passage to the provincial capital is restricted to Imperial Army personnel.
Okay.
They're all Rosarians.
I am being gone.
But this is their home.
I'm hungry.
There's a lot of people saying things. Hi.
This is no time to ride.
No time to ride.
No
No?
use calling Ambrosia now.
Here we go. Oh, there she is. All right, let's go. Nope.
Right.
Gonna ignore that. Devil crab. Not just a regular crab, but a devil crab. I'm just gonna ignore that for now, I think. I think I'm good. The silken strand.
Lazarus.
I'm not zooming anymore.
My mother.
Chocobo ride music happens in every Final Fantasy that you know of.
the
Oh,
nobles who
interesting.
lived here didn't stand a
Can I jump?
chance.
Oh, I can.
Let's hope my uncle fared better.
Just by the beach? Are they important? It's probably fine.
That's the main gate.
I'm sure I'll
We're not
miss
the only
chests and
ones hoping to get in.
collectible things anytime I just go on like the straightaway in a video game anyway. It's gonna be a cutscene or something? Oh, yep.
My children are starving!
Have mercy. Voice-rinsed dogs they are. You can't ignore us forever.
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep.
Better out there than in here.
Oh, get in that fucking
And the jealous bastards. Those crystals belong to us all. I said, where were you, filth? Back to your stalls. Cut you down where you stand. Destroy it.
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in.